that your own city, your own town, people you know that will stand up for what's right and also be afraid that you'll catch them if they tell a lie anyway. So that would be a lot better and focus on that more so than the presidency. You know why? Yeah, now here's the part where a lot of Americans don't know this. I want you to stop and think. Hillary Clinton got maybe 3 or 4 million more votes. Did you know that? In the election. Yes or no? So if our vote counted, how come she's not in? Do you know why? Electoral college. And college not meaning as in university, not meaning as in intelligence. No. Forget that. Meaning collegiate as in a gathering, as a jama'ah in Arabic. That's what the college is about. A collective of people who are voting for you on your behalf. And that's exactly how all of the presidents since the time of Washington until today, they were never chosen by the popular vote. If it was, it's a coincidence. But the Electoral College decides that. Just thought I'd throw that in there because we are getting closer to the next time we vote. And I want us to really focus on this opportunity for all of us, not just Muslims, but everybody that's a believer. You believe in God, look for a God-fearing person and vote for them. And if you say, well, there's no Muslim running, so I can't vote, that's really dumb. That's super dumb. And I'm going to tell you why. Because just because somebody's a Muslim doesn't mean he's going to make the right choices. I'm sorry, but that doesn't mean he's going to make the right choices. What's best for us is to have somebody that's God-fearing. And if he's a God-fearing person, he will make the choices that align with us as believers. Yes or no? You're free to disagree with me, but just go outside to do it, all right? I'm just kidding, Sheikh. A little bit. Anyway, one of the things that we like to talk about in our program is the things that help us as Muslims here in America understand so we don't make mistakes. Now, I'm not going to ask a show of hands. I'm just going to ask you to think. Have you ever heard somebody say that, well, we can give salams, meaning salam alaikum, peace be upon you, to believers, but we can't give them to anybody who's not a believer? We've all heard that. Don't raise your hand. Okay. Well, I know you've all heard that. Also, we heard that people in general, if they're not in our masjid, from our manhaj or our aqidah system, that, don't give them salams. Don't, in fact, intimidate them when you're out in the street. Make them go to the other side of the street. Have you heard about something like this? Yep. Actually, it says the opposite of that in the Quran. But it says it in a way that when you interpret it, when you try to bring it to English, it sounds convoluted. Because Allah does not forbid you. Meaning what? Allah does not forbid you. That's not the normal way we say, Allah likes for you to do something. But He says He doesn't forbid you to be good with the people, non-Muslim people. As long as they're what? They didn't turn you out of your house. They're not attacking you. So He doesn't forbid you from what? Being good to them, being kind to them. And listen to this. There's a hadith, a narration, saying that the angel Jibril, comes to Muhammad telling him about the care of his neighbors. Now, in those days, just like today, like where you live, they had non-Muslim neighbors. In Medina and Mecca, before there was this partition, they had people that were Christians, people that were Jews, people that were fire worshippers, people that worshipped rocks, sticks, stones, bones. There were people who worshipped, and some who didn't even worship at all. So here's the angel Gabriel telling them that Allah doesn't forbid you this kindness, this niceness, and he's telling it all about the neighbors, the neighbors. Prophet ﷺ, he told his companions later, he said, because Jibril spent a long time with him. He said, I thought he was going to get to the point that when I die, I'm adding that in there so you understand the inheritance, that they would inherit from me. To the point that I thought that he was going to say that they inherit from me at death. Wow. So how did we get that confused? There are a number of hadith and ayahs in the Quran that you can look at and understand that as long as your neighbors or anybody really is not fighting you, you don't have any reason to fight them. And actually, in some places in the world, even today, we see Muslims killing Muslims. Yes or no? Is it true? All right, so if you know that, which one of them do you don't give the salam to? The one on the left, the one on the right? The one with the big guns, the ones with the small guns? Which ones? Or are you going to just like, I won't give salam to any of them, huh? By the way, there's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ telling us that if two people are fighting and one kills the other one, both of them go to hell. The companion said, whoa, the one who killed him, the other one, yeah, we get that, but why did they both go to hell? You know why? Well, because if he could have, the other one would have killed him. Their intentions were to kill each other from the beginning. So it's very dangerous. Oh, and by the way, before you judge anybody, I found this in Sahih Muslim. There's several of them, very similar, saying that the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever says so-and-so is in the hellfire, whoever said so-and-so is in the hellfire, for sure one of them is. At least one of them is. Meaning if that guy doesn't go to hell, so what kind of percentage is that? That's not a good deal. Because, number one, if that person is rightly guided before they die, God forgives them, yes or no? And then it doesn't matter who they are or who their parents are. But if they're rightly guided by Almighty God before they die or at their time of death, they're going to paradise. Now where are you going to go? Uh-oh. And because of that, means if you said so-and-so is going to go to hell, your dua all day long and all night long needs to be this. Your supplication or your prayer needs to be this. Oh God, send him to hell. Oh God, send him to hell. Oh God, send him to hell. Why? Because if he doesn't go, I go. But by the way, if he goes, does that guarantee you're not going to go? No. He said at least one of them is going to go. It's not a good percentage deal. I recommend that we say, instead of so-and-so going to go to hell, we say, Allah guide them. Allah guide them. Even if your worst enemy, say, Allah guide them. What about the real enemies of Islam at the time of the Prophet? What about the real enemies of the Prophet? And we're going to include, along with this, Abu Jahl and Omar. Both of them were big enemies to the Prophet. True or false? Yeah? He didn't wish for them to go to hell. He prayed for them. He actually asked God, guide from them. Guide the two. By the way, both of them were named Omar. He said, guide one of the two Omars. SubhanAllah, why aren't we doing that? And I was joking about our current president and some of the ones before. But still, I pray for them. I want them to be rightly guided. In here, this is common sense. I just ask you to think about something. Suppose you're on a ship. Now, compare the United States to a ship. And you have a captain of the ship. Compare the president to being a captain of a ship. You're on a ship. You're out at sea. And you're saying, I hope God sinks that ship with that guy on it. Huh? You're on the same ship. What are you doing? It doesn't make any sense. I want this country to be successful. In fact, I want the whole planet to be successful. Do you want one part of the planet to be successful and the other part not? That doesn't make any sense either. You know, let's just blow up the part that we don't like. Okay? Just knock out Russia. Or just knock out China. You know when you blow a hole in it, the whole earth feels it, yes or no? Come on, guys. This is why it's critical for us to have people with common sense who are making the decisions. And I'm back on that. Again, we've got voting coming up. I want you to look for the one with common sense. Whoever that is, I'm not going to tell you who I think it is, because that's not common sense. In our program today, what I talked about, and I hope that all of us kind of focused on this too, there's a big difference between you going to a college, a place of higher learning, and you come out of it and they've told you how to think. From the day you walked in the door, you took philosophy class, the first thing they wanted to ask you was, can you prove you exist? Huh? I don't know if any of you took philosophy, but that's exactly the kind of stuff they come up with. But if you play into that game, then I promise you when you graduate, you will have a degree, you will have a piece of paper saying that these people taught me how to think. But is that really what you want? Or do you want somebody to teach you how to think? Not, they taught me to think like this, but rather I can make up my own mind. I can use my brain. When I was not in the Muslim religion, I was in another religion. I think everybody knows what that was. But I would go to some of the pastors, some of the priests, and I would ask them questions. Why does the Bible say this? For instance, one of the things we learned was the Prince of Peace is Isa, Jesus. All right? Well, I like that. That sounds good. But in the Bible it says that Isa, Jesus, said, don't think I came with peace. I came not with peace, but with a sword. And I showed that to the pastor. You know what he told me? No, you don't understand. Well, I don't understand English or what? You call him the Prince of Peace. No, you don't understand. But to find out the rest of what he said, I need everybody to stay tuned, because we've got to take a short break. We're going to be right back, right after this. Don't go away. Stay there and stay guided with Guide Us TV. Come on, guys. Yeah, when I say guided with, you say? Guide us. No, come on, be loud. I got a microphone. Guided with? Guide Us TV. One more time. Guide Us TV. Ready? Get guided with? Guide Us TV. One book. One book. Don't do that. 40?
Something like that. I don't have a time on this.
Yeah, it's all right.
I have 5, 4, 3, 2.
And I told you we'd be right back. And we are. You're watching Goddess TV. We come to you live from right here in Grand, not great, but Grand Rapids, Michigan. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All the praise is to Almighty God, the creator and sustainer of the universe. And we thank him for letting us be here with you right now. So if you're watching us in the living room and you kick back on the couch like, that's cool. If you're watching this in the car, on your phone, that's cool. Unless you're driving, look at the road. You can listen, but I mean, seriously. Now, I was talking about people giving you the wrong kind of information. When you go to a university and you graduate and they say, well, we taught you how to think. Which means what? It means you didn't let me learn anything, really. You're going to ask me, just do what I tell you to do. That's it. And by the way, that's the way you learn English. Anybody been to public school? Public school? Uh-huh. Yeah, all right. Public school, that's where they taught us how to pronounce words. They show you a word, but you've got to ask the teacher how to pronounce it because you can't guess. You'll try and try and try, and you'll never get it right. I'll just give you one right out in the open. There's an animal that runs all over the place. It's all over the United States. A possum. 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 Everybody heard of a possum? What's the first letter? O. It's an O, not a P. It's an opossum. And knowledge. Everybody knows knowledge starts with a K. It's not knowledge, is it? So they have to teach you everything. This is not the case with the Arabic language. If you learn the letters, if you learn the 26 letters in the Arabic alphabet, 26, right? 28? You got a special one. Okay. So we got you counted Hamza, huh? Yeah. No. All right. So 28 letters, but they never change and become another letter. They don't become other letters. And there's no vowels. There's no vowels in Arabic language. I, E, A, O, U, like that. We don't have that in Arabic. You pronounce something according to the position of the letters and a knowledge of what is being said. And it's an amazing thing when you learn to read the Quran. It's really amazing. Anyway, when we're talking about information that you're getting, and I wanted to kind of wrap it up with this and let you really think about something. What is real knowledge? Suppose somebody gave you an encyclopedia set, or for Muslims, suppose somebody gave you the collection of the Sahih Bukhari. Sahih Bukhari. You'd like that. How many volumes is that in Arabic?
Almost 10 volumes.
10 volumes? Wow.
With the explanation for Ibn Hajar.
It's almost 10 volumes. For Sahih Bukhari itself, 2 volumes. For the Hadith, it's almost 2 volumes. With the explanation for Imam Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, almost 10 of them. Yeah, for explanation the meaning of the Hadith.
So 10 volumes. Now that's knowledge, yes or no? Oh, really? No, it's not. No, it is not knowledge. It's information. Knowledge is knowing how to use the information. That's knowledge. Ilm, the word in Arabic, ilm. If you have the 10 volumes he's talking about, or the volumes of Sahih Muslim, or the volumes of Tafsir of Ibn Kathir, or the Fatawa of Sheikh bin Baz or Ibn Taymiyyah. It doesn't really matter all the books in the world and all the computers in the world. If it's nothing but information, it's not knowledge yet. Is that true or false? Because whenever you get the knowledge in front of you, or the information, but I tell you, no, it means this. No, it means that. 3 is 1, 1 is 3. And angels are this, but devils are so-and-so. And I'm telling you everything to think like I think. Don't think outside the box. This is exactly what a lot of the religions today do. They tell you how to think. And you take something to them, you say, well, how does this work? You don't understand. You didn't read it in the Spirit. Well, hey, as a Muslim, we don't drink those kinds of words. Okay? Let's leave that at home. So I would like to just kind of wrap this up by coming up with something. Knowledge or ilm is learning from the information something of value that you can use in your life. But Islam is offering you something even bigger, something better, something far above the ilm. It's called hikmah. And one Sheikh, my Sheikh, was telling us that think of hikmah or wisdom, that's the translation of it, like this. You go and you get the information. You go to the public library, you get books. You get your books down and read the books, or go on the internet and read until you have turned the information into knowledge. Now you're ready to go out and tell everybody how the cow ate the cabbage. You're ready to tell everybody everything that you know, right? But the real wisdom about the knowledge and the information is knowing when not to use it. May Allah guide all of us. Allah keep us away from the fitna of Riyah and Kibr. Ameen. Ameen. And for all of you at home, stay tuned. There's more coming up right here on Guidance TV. Everybody stay guided with Guidance TV. I like the way you say that. All right.
Whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do. I'll work for you guys. Tell me what to do.
Fire.
Thank you. So what?
Yeah, Jazakumullah khairan. May Allah reward all of you, brothers and sisters who came tonight. Yeah, really we are so happy to have our Sheikh Yusuf Estes tonight. We are so glad to have him, and we hope that Allah will send him for us again and again. Say Ameen. Inshallah, we had him 9 years ago, and we finally are able to have him again, and I hope, inshallah, Allah will help us to have him again and again, inshallah. No, 9 years ago. I am converted now. I mean, in our masjid here, it was 2010. Yeah, that's okay, inshallah. Just we will have the part for question and answers, for 5-10 minutes, inshallah, and we do salah, and we will conclude our event after the question and answer. If you really have a deep question for our Sheikh tonight, you will ask, and we will give our brother Dr. Muhammad Hassan a chance to present the organization for, inshallah, for mercy without limit. Ar-Rahma bila hudud. He is working with orphans around the world, inshallah. He will need almost 6 minutes. First, just to prepare your question. Yeah, prepare your question in your mind, or if you would like to write it in a small paper and send it over here, inshallah. And we will have 6 minutes first for our brother Muhammad Hassan, inshallah.
And we have question and answer after that, and we will have salah after that.
جزاكم الله خير. الحمد لله حمد عباده الذاكرين الشاكرين واصلي واسلم على سيدنا المرسلين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله واصحابه والتابعين وتابعين التابعين باحسان الى يوم الدين. لا تجعل تجمعنا هذا تجمعا مرحوما ولا تفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل فينا وتبارك عنا شقيا ومحروما. نجد من سيستم الاسلام. السلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته. My name is Muhammad Hassan. I'm the CEO of organization called Literacy Without Limits, or Rahma Bila Hudud. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, this organization has been around for the last 7 years, and we have 8 offices around the world. One in Turkey, in Syria, in Jordan, in Iraq, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Bangladesh, and Subhanallah Rabbil Alameen, Sierra Leone. Is it Sierra Leone? Yes. And Lebanon as well. Alhamdulillah, when we decided to work and help people out, we decided to work on 2 major projects. One of them is the Rohingya Muslims, and the other one was the orphans. The orphans, the children that they've been around right now and they don't know why they became orphans. The orphans that they don't know that how they became orphans, and some of them, or many of them, they do not know how to read or write. Some of them, they don't know how it looks like when you sit in a classroom. Subhanallah Rabbil Alameen. And I mean, when we decided to work for them, we said, all right, we're going to help them as much as we can. Each single orphan gets 7 programs. Besides food, shelter, and clothes, we get them education. We have over 20,000 classrooms. Because imagine what our ummah looks like if we, 10 and 15 years from now, if we neglected the education today. SubhanAllah, we have something called psychological care. Those children that they were born, especially in the last 5 years, they have seen more death than life. So they are not like my son or daughter or your kids that you were born in here. We have a program called Mother Awareness, which we are educating the mother how to deal with her orphan. Subhanallah Rabbil Alameen. All of that for $60 a month. Just $60 a month. What are you going to do with $60 here in this life? Maybe you can put some gas in your car, right? Maybe you can buy some groceries. But with these $60, what you're going to get? Number 1, Rahmah and Maghfirah, the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 2, inshallah Rabbil Alameen, you're going to be the companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Al-Jannah, as he said, أَنَا وَكَافِرُ الْيَتِيمِ كَهَاتَيْنِ. The one who sponsors an orphan will be my companion like that. Number 3, you're going to get full report about the orphan that you have sponsored. Even if you want to visit your orphan in one of these 8 countries, we'll facilitate that for you. If not, we still can facilitate for you a phone call through Skype. So because we are not only about money, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, these kids, these children, they need to feel that someone is taking care of them. They need to feel the warmth around them, even though they are living in a very bad condition right now. So inshallah Rabbil Alameen, very quick, I have only now 3 minutes to see who's going to sponsor 2 orphans, inshallah Rabbil Alameen. That's $120 a month for 12 months, inshallah. Do we have anyone, inshallah? Bismillah. We have only 3 minutes. Allahu Akbar. We have one takbir. Give him a picture of you. Give him a picture. Anyone, inshallah, in the back, over here. In the back. It's good. Okay. Anyone, inshallah, Rabbil Alameen. Bismillah. Number 2. 2 orphans, inshallah. Bismillah. Allahu Akbar. Takbir. Number 3, inshallah. Do you have number 3? Bismillah. 2 orphans, inshallah, Rabbil Alameen. $120 a month for 12 months. Wallahi, the night will be over. You're going to forget about this night, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never forget. You're going to see the barakah. Allahu Akbar, takbir. Allahu Akbar, Allah barakah. Bismillah, mashallah. Allah, you're going to see the barakah in your health, your wealth, your children, inshallah, Rabbil Alameen. We have number 4, inshallah, Bismillah. 2 orphans, inshallah, tayyib khair. I have only 2 minutes left. Bismillah. $60 a month for 12 months, inshallah. Bismillah. $60? Yeah, Allahu Akbar, takbir. We have number 1, number 2. Can you guys give me these pictures? 3, we have number 3. Raise your hand, keep your hands up. Okay, 3, where's number 4? We have number 4. Anyone from the sister side, inshallah, Bismillah. $60 a month, Bismillah. Anyone, Bismillah. Do we have number 4 and number 5? We have Allahu Akbar, we have number 4. We have number 5. Allahu Akbar, over there, number 5. Over there. Number 6, Bismillah. 6, we have number 6. We have number 7. Allahu Akbar, number 7. Bismillah. 8? Do you have 8 inshallah? 8 inshallah. $60 a month. You're going to be the companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We have number 8. Bismillah. Number 8, I have 1 minute left inshallah. 1 minute and we continue with the program. Bismillah. We have number 8. Number 8 inshallah. Fi sabilillah tonight, subhanallah rabbil alameen. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, in the moment of this, don't we just what we're going to say? Oh Allah, give me some time. But to do what? To pray? No. To read Quran? No. But oh Allah, give me some time for a sabbath so I can pay charity. But guess what? At that time you won't be able to. Now we can inshallah. Because we don't know whether we're going to be alive till next Ramadan or not. Actually, we don't know whether we're going to be alive to come to Al-Fajr prayer tomorrow or not. So we have number 8 inshallah. Number 8, $60 a month. Bismillah. Anyone inshallah number 8? Allah. We have number 8, number 9. One more to go inshallah. One more to go inshallah. So we have 10 from this message. Barakallahu fikum. Jazakumullah khairan. Barakallahu fikum. 10 and I'm done. As I told you 6 minutes. Now we're going to go for Sheikh Yusuf.
I just wanted to say something about these children. My wife and I have taken this project very serious. That's why she lets me go out and do what I'm doing right now. I like to have fun with you guys. I love to joke around and drive a point home with a little humor to make it really stick. But this is not about humor. This is not about a joke. This is very serious. I have children that grew up to become adults, and I have grandchildren and I have great-grandchildren. When I see these children's faces in these pictures, and I know, my wife and I both know that the effect that this organization, Muslims Without Limits, has, I'm tempted to I wish I could just say, I'll take all 4,000 of the children, me and her will get all the reward. I would love that. There's 2 reasons. Number 1, because we really need to let all of you get some reward too. The other is, I don't have that kind of money. Well, seriously, tonight I looked at this one and I found another one that we're going to sponsor. Inshallah, I found all of this. And he has a name that I love. Rahim, you know how special on Rahim. His name is Abdul Rahim. And this boy was born in 2009. That means he's now 10 years old. A lot of times adults look at a child's age and they say, well, 10 years old, 12 years old. We sponsored one who was 17 years old. And you say, well, I want to get a little kid. No. They're all humans, regardless. Even before we talk about Islam, they're human beings and they've lost. They don't have a home anymore. It got blown up. They don't have a daddy anymore. He got blown up in the house. So these little children have been in refugee camps for a long time, and they need help. What I was attracted to, though, besides his name, Abdurrahim, 10 years old, you'd be surprised he's not even in school. Never been in school. This next one, now I'm taking that one. Okay, you can't have it. Shahida, a young girl, study level. You know what it says? Study level. Grade 1, grade 2, primary school, which is the elementary, middle school. Read what it said right there. That's her school. That's it. Play school. That's all she's got. Samira, same thing. Play. Never been in school. This one is in primary school. Maruf Hassan, he's in primary school. Six years old. He's got the advantage, doesn't he? Here's one that's 10 years old. He's also in primary school. And this is like grade 1, grade 2, like this. Imagine. Here's another one. Here's Muhammad Salam. born in 2012, do the math, he's 7 years old, play, no school. And I go through this, here's another play, and so on. How important is it for Mercy Without Limits? It's the only worldwide organization that's focusing on these things. Of course, blankets, it's freezing cold over there, you know that. But, and clothing, very important. Food, very important, they gotta have food. And fresh water, yes, it's important. Medicine, that's a big focus. For Mercy Without Limits, it's like they got that from the doctors that work with them, you know, Doctors Without Borders. So this is Mercy Without Limits. So the medicine is a big thing, but the biggest focus of all is the education. What have I been talking about all day long here? Education, knowing firsthand what is Islam, what is the Quran, and then what is general life, how to think on your own to make wise decisions. And this is what's really lacking in all of the organizations. I know I've been to these countries and I've seen firsthand everybody passing out cookies and water and stuff, and then they all want to stand in front of their banner that says, you know, whatever, ha ha ha, without whatever, and take pictures and take that back and raise more money. But this is serious. They've got to have a proper education. Otherwise, stop and think. That's a training camp for nothing more than what we've already seen in the past of radicals. Because these people, without education, starving to death, watching their mom die from whatever she's, you know, trying to take care of them. All they know is, and then somebody tells you your religion said go out here and be crazy. Huh? I think you get the idea. So what I'm asking you to do right now, I need for you to help me. I want to get the reward of 10. I want the reward of sponsoring 10 right now. How can we get that? If you'll join me and say, I'll take one, and we get it up to 10, or as a jama'ah, when you pray in jama'ah, you get more than 25 or 27, yeah? Even if there's only 3 people. Even 2? Wow. You do have a special one on tonight, I like that. All right, so if you get what I'm saying, now, this is for those who have not yet declared something, or if you want to add to it. You want to add to it, or you didn't declare something yet. I'd like to see 10 hands right now. Join me. It's $60 a month. That's $2 a day. That will not buy you a cup of coffee at Starbucks. It won't. Just that much could make a world of difference for a child. And in this case, we're going to have 10 children. Well, 11 now. So, who will join me? Thank you, brother. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you and your family and keep you close to Him always in this life and next life.
We have 1.
2, thank you, brother. Jazakallah khair. 3, sister, whoa, don't you rule out the sisters, come on. Thank you, sister. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you and make your husband take it easy on you when you get home and say, I sponsored 2 or 1? 1, okay.
And
Sister Azra over there. Brother Ahmed.
And another sister over here.
Brother Hamid here. Brother Hikmat's wife. What is she? Raise your hand. MashaAllah over there. I can see you now. Brother Danis here. MashaAllah. Yeah, we have more than 10 now. Brother Hamid. Takbir. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Very good. You have 4 now.
Hold on a second. Our brother just said something that got me. He really got me. He said, he had his hand like this, but he wasn't saying, my hand is up, he was saying 5. Yes, sister. Thank you, sister. Yeah, you on 2? 2. MashaAllah.
Allahu Akbar.
Brother Hashim over there, inshallah, Abu Fadl.
I want all of us to be in Jannah together. Ameen.
Ameen.
Jannah the Firdaus A'la. Near Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All the prophets. And I ask Allah for that, for you, for us, for all of you here. Whether you sponsor a child or not tonight, I still want all of us to be in Jannah.
Ameen.
I don't want it to be an exclusive club that, I can't get into. Who else would like to join us? We got just 60 seconds left. Another sister? MashaAllah. Thank you, sister. MashaAllah. Thank you. Anybody else want to join us right now? Please, brother.
Brother Mahmoud here for his mom Halima Muhammad. Here.
We got another brother right back over here too.
Raise your hand. It's good.
Yes.
Good job.
Oh, you know what? Maybe you have a relative who has already passed away. If you would like to do it on their behalf to comfort them on the day of judgment, this is a good chance to do that. Because if Allah accepts it, and there's always that predication out there, if Allah will accept it, that person that you're doing it for, this makes it easier for them in the grave and on the day of judgment. So, before I forget, I want to give you that one. I forgot to give you one last one. Get it down there. Anyway.
Jazakumullahu khairan, inshallah.
Okay, let's make some dua now. That allows us. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. Ya وزوجه.
Stay away from the mic.
All right, really quick. Okay. All right, assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam. Jazakallah khairan. So, really quick, how many people here, okay, that you have somebody that couldn't be with you tonight here, but that you would really like to see them in Jannah next to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam like this? That you love someone, but they couldn't be here with you tonight, but you would really love to see them in Jannah with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam like this. Raise your hands, keep them up. MashaAllah. I'm going to give you guys a phone number, okay? So pull out your cell phones. I'm going to give you guys a phone number, so pull out your cell. If you held up your hand, take out your cell phones. Okay? If you held up your hands, if you didn't hold it up, then you don't care about nobody, MashaAllah. Right? Then don't pull it up. But pull out your cell phones. I'm going to give you a phone number. Open up your text message. Open up for your text message, also known as an SMS. But open up your text message. The phone number is 71777. The phone number again, 71777. One last time, that phone number is 71777. Count the sevens, by the way. The message that we're going to send is MWOL, no spaces. MWOL, no spaces. Doesn't matter if it's capital or lowercase. MWOL, mercy without limits, to 71777. Send that off. Who gets the link back first? You already got it, mashallah. Anybody else got the link back? Sent it right here, mashallah. Now, click on the link as soon as you guys get it back. If somebody gets a confusion or there's an issue in it or something like that, look to the person next to you that got the link and then just share it, okay? Once you do that, you'll see right here, okay? We have this beautiful thing that comes up right here. A child is waiting for you. This is how you can take this now. And if you look at the bottom here, if you scroll this up a little bit, you'll see to where you can share it on your Facebook, you can share it on your Twitter for the owls. Right? You can also share it in email, and you can also send it to someone very special in a text message. You can send it over to them. You can also make a contribution on there if you'd like to. You can also become a fundraiser, get your own link, right? And you can keep track of how much you're able to do. Inshallah ta'ala. Right? And the last but not least.
Anyway, the most important part about it is, that we all join together. So they're gonna pass the box through real quick, and then after that, if anybody needs to make wudu, so you can pray right now, go make wudu, because as soon as we get through the passing the box back, then we're ready to do the salah, okay? Is that all right?
Just make sure that you put
your
your
all information, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and return a pledge back for the box here and before you leave, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan for your support. Yeah, it's okay.
Anybody needs a free pen?
And yeah, inshallah, no problem. Yeah, if you have a chance, the Sheikh will be here for tomorrow, Fajr inshallah, and we will have the breakfast for tomorrow after sunrise. And if you would like to take your brochure or your pledge with you home and just fill it up and with the information and return it back tomorrow morning, inshallah. They will leave after Fajr, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Taqabbalallahu minna wa minkum. Is anyone has a question really would like to ask before we make Iqamah, or we can leave it for tomorrow after Salah? It's okay. Inshallah. We're gonna make adhan and we're gonna make Salah and other stuff. It's good. Yeah. Jazakumullahu khairan.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
استووا تراصوا واعتدلوا سووا صفوفكم وتراصوا. الله أكبر. إني وجهت وجهي الذي فطر السماوات حنيفا لا ونسكي ومحياي. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. كلا إن كتاب الأبرار لفي عليين وما أدراك ما عليون كتاب مرقوم يشهده المقربون إن الأبرار لفي نعيم على الأرائك ينظرون تعرف في وجوههم نضرة النعيم يسقون من رحيق مختوم ختامه مسك وفي ذلك فليتنافس المتنافسون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده ربنا الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إن الأبرار لفي نعيم وإن الفجار لفي جحيم يصلونها يوم الدين وما هم عنها بغائبين وما أدراك ما يوم الدين ثم ما أدراك ما يوم الدين يوم لا تملك نفس لنفس شيئا والأمر يومئذ لله. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله. الحمد لله. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله. الحمد لله. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. استغفر الله. استغفر الله. استغفر الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan. Inshallah, we will have 5-10 minutes max
for our Sheikh, inshallah, to address any question or any explanation wasn't clear for any one of us, inshallah. If somebody has a question and he wrote it in the piece of paper, just now. عذاب القبر. I see. Inshallah. Right. Have a seat. Bismillah.